What's up, guys? This is Scott. Welcome to the drip. And I like to say it's always wet here, but we provide you a 150% guarantee where 100% of the time I'll be over 50% right. I do make mistakes, not very often, but these are opinions mainly on this channel. If you're new here, I welcome you. Hopefully you're gonna love this video, and I'll let you know a little secret. I have lots of other videos, content coming up. Just, hey, give me a shot, subscribe, we'll go from there. That's a bunch of friends here on this raft. You can punch your ticket too. Every knife has a story. We do our best to give you a piece of a story, whether it's the very beginning, a small one, big one, wherever it may lie. Today we're gonna look at a Medford. At the end of the video, if you stick with me, I'm going to have just a little kind of personal announcement to throw at you guys if you're my friends, which I shouldn't even think of that, because of course we are. This is the place that we meet and friends can gather and listen to a familiar voice. Look at it. Hey, trying to film over here, bud. So, we're going to look at a Medford. You know, the thing about Medfords, when I thought of a Medford before I actually got one, is chunky knife, heavy, big, bulky, but I also thought indestructible, like very well made. Now, I don't talk politics, political stuff, religion, any of that stuff with anybody. Those are personal opinions, and I let my actions kind of show what I'm stand for. So I don't, the Medford aspect of that, I love the knives, and that's what we're here to talk about. So yeah, big, like heavy duty knives, really heavy duty. I had bought a Medford. It's the Smooth Criminal, and I've reviewed that, and I love it. I love that knife. And this was my second one I got. It's a Medford Praetorian Genesis TI. TI. Yeah, man. This thing's crazy. So I went on to DLT. Was kind of browsing because I had searched for Medfords, and I wanted to get something bigger, but I wasn't quite sure exactly what I wanted to do or how heavy it would be, because I wasn't going to be handling it until I bought it. So for me, and this was probably about, maybe 3 months ago, maybe more, when I got this Medford. And so I went online. I was at DLT kind of browsing. They have a really good selection. And it seems like some of their stuff is like more towards a custom type knife, definitely, because there's only like one of them that I've ever seen. And then other ones are just a little bit more inexpensive, and I don't know if those are unique in themselves either. But they range anywhere from $700-900 and then on up. So they can get up to be, a couple of grand or probably more. So when you make your order, I saw this. I had actually put a different knife in my cart. And so then I kept on kind of looking on the site. And then my problem is when I see something automatically, it's always going to be expensive. And it tends to be like the best of something. I don't know. And I say best, that can be argued because it's open to whoever is going to be judging something or interpretation. But I just tend to gravitate to expensive stuff. It's a horrible thing. But so I saw this one, and I pulled the trigger on this. Now, when you get a Medford, at least in my experience, and I'm going to show you, this is the box that it came in. Okay, made in the USA. That's the one thing that Medford always takes pride in letting people know. They're all made in the USA, all the parts. Genesis, 3V, Vulcan, drop point, bronze with silver, DLT trading. So in the box, this is going to be my receipt. And then this is gonna come in the bubble wrap. It's a nice little case, got a dog tag on here. And then you also are gonna get like some stickers, a patch, a certificate of creation, authenticity. So these are the main things that are gonna come in here in this little, it's kind of a cool setup, if you ask me. So let's sit this over here. Enough of the box. So here's the knife. Now, from my research and playing with this thing, there are, for the Praetorian, and from what I've been looking into, they have a Praetorian Micro, I believe, which we'll measure this one. It's going to be smaller than this. And some guys that I saw in videos had their hand on it. And I mean, the handle was extremely small. And then the regular Praetorian, which is like the larger one than this, it was, I mean, I could tell by videos, I could read the weight and all that stuff, and it was a big bastard. And I didn't want something that big. I kind of knew I didn't want it. This was going to be a challenge for me to carry with its weight, and we'll see what that is. But they had the micro, and then they had the regular, I call it full-size Praetorian. Now they have them in like different complete options. You know, this is going to be all titanium, handle, hardware, bronzed. And so this right here, the Genesis, this is going to be like the middle as far as size goes for the Praetorian. All right. Now so we'll go ahead and measure this. Let's say the blade is 3.25 inches. Now it is pretty wide, so we're looking at an inch, a little over an inch and a half wide. So that's, I mean, that's pretty large. And so yeah, 3 1/4. The handle itself, you're looking at 4 inches. It's about 4.5 inches if you've got the skull knocker in here. But it's just a little bit over, it looks like 4 inches. You lose a lot up here where this little choil area is, because it kind of pushes your index finger back a little bit. The weight on this thing, .9. So see, when you're looking at pushing about 9 ounces, that's a heavy knife. It really is. I mean, you're into fixed blade territory with that. So with that weight, like I said, the weight thing, if I was going to get to be, like some of them are like 12 ounces, the full size. And I just knew that having that in my pocket, when I like to carry some other knives, I knew that for me, that wasn't really going to work well. So I got this one. This has a hollow grind. This is the drop point version. It has the Vulcan blade on it. They have some different finishes. I think this is one of their special blades that they do. And then, as I had mentioned earlier, this is the 3 on here is going to be for your 3V. Hold on, buddy. I'll let you out in just a few minutes. So, yeah, 3V. He's talking to me. You have a nice thick fuller here up at the top. So when we close and open, now what I do is I pinch it with 2 fingers because, for one, this is way too stiff to be able to just like do any real flicking. So what I do is I just grab it pinch it with 2 fingers here, and then I slow roll it with my thumb. And as you can see, you got a nice, huge stop pin on the top of the blade here. Some great jimping. It's not sharp, and as you can see, it's not necessarily aggressive, but it's big. Like your finger, you have a ton of traction on the top of this. So left or right, you have that nice thick fuller there. You have your pivot here, which is going to be Looks like they're a special proprietary tool on each side. Now, I don't know how I would adjust that. Let them go out. Let them go outside. Sorry, guys, that's impromptu stuff. You just get to see me in real life. Anyways, back to the knife here. So the jimping itself is really cool on the top of this. It's going to let you have some good feel in the hand. All bronze hardware on here. Titanium full tie handle. You have your over travel stop right down here on the handle because this is going to be a frame lock. As you can see right here. Voila. And then, of course, like all Medfords I've seen and experienced, this is right in the middle. You open this bad boy up and it's tight. This is probably the most heavy-duty folding knife that I've ever handled. And this is extremely great on the lockup. Really smooth. This is on bearings. I'm sorry. This is on washers. Because I believe they put 2 washers on each side of these. But it is very smooth as far as opening. It's not drop shutty because it is a heavy blade, very thick. It'll do some great slicing tasks, you know, and it's extremely sharp. It's a great edge on here. And yeah, it's definitely usable. It's kind of heavy, so you can chop at some stuff if you've got small branches. Now, I haven't used it for it. I would. For like starting a fire and chopping up some small little like branches or shaving things, cutting some food. I think that's all good. Now, if you've got something like some cardboard or dense material that you're going to be wanting to slice all the way through, this would do it. But I think as you're pushing through, because the blade is thicker, it might hang you up just a little bit because of, you know, going through the material on this thick of a blade. So the handle, I forgot what they call the handle style. This is maybe like a peaks and valleys or mountains and hills, or I forgot what this texture is. They have different type of designs and textures, patterns on their titanium handles. They usually, I think, all have these areas here, which is going to be pretty much for your wrap around on your hand. It's only on one side, obviously, because this is going to be your lock bar. It is going to be a tip up, right hand only. It's comfortable in hand. Now the Genesis, as you can see, when I put it in my hand, and I have a large hand, and we kind of lock in here, it's gonna be, we're darn near having this go up into my hand. Now it is comfortable. It feels okay, and I can use this, and I can kind of adjust my fingers up here on the top. But this is about as small as I could go with it still being comfortable in my hand. So this is way better than the Micro for me, and it's better than the Praetorian because that one would be just such a monster. I'd never carry it. It would just be a piece that I would keep in the collection. This actually I have carried and I will carry it. Mainly when I have jeans or work pants on. But with shorts, I really don't carry this one. Nice and thick on the scales here. Let's look on the inside. I want to check out if it's got any milling. No, it just has a little bit here where the lock bar is. That's a good lockup too. The other side, nope. So there's solid scales. You got the steel skull breaker, glass breaker, whatever it is, and then your lanyard hole here. So this is done tastefully. That's not something that's going to look like you're at a gas station. No offense to gas station knives. You have a place in the knife world. But this here doesn't, I mean, it looks very well done. And then other than the jimping up here on the top of the spine and the back of the knife, we don't really have any other areas with jimping. These clips work pretty well. The only thing on these clips that I've kind of seen is they're just a little bit loose. When I put this into my pants, sometimes it just moves a little bit too much for me. So other than that, very, very well done. It's close to being too big, you know, in my pocket for me, but it's good. They do it well, and like I said, it's tasteful. It's closed. This is what you're looking at in your hand. So that snap right into place. But everything on here, the hardware, the handle, the pivot, everything looks gorgeous. The attention to detail is amazing on this thing. You cannot go wrong by purchasing, in my opinion, if you're looking for a Praetorian, you can't go wrong, well, with any of them, because I think you're going to get the same dependable construction, materials, engineering on every single knife that they pump out. So I appreciate you taking the time to kind of look at my Medford with me here, and let me tell you about how I got it, what it looks like, what it does. I've only seen one of these before. And this particular one I think was around 1850, something like that. But just a gorgeous blade. Thank you again. It is August 20th today. It's a Saturday. And let's remember our pets, remember our vets, the men and women that serve the country, that have given everything to help provide us freedoms, the little furry guys, the non-furry guys, the ones that love us unconditionally. Always give them their deserved credit. And so at this point, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe if it's content you want to continue to keep seeing. That means a lot. That lets me know you're out there. And for those of you that were here for knife content, take it easy. We'll see you soon. All the other people that want to continue watching for about 2 minutes, I'm going to let you in on just a little tidbit, because this will be a video I'm going to look back years from now and know what's going on in my life on this day. It's kind of a marker for me emotionally and at things in life. I've spent a lot of my life watching people at different points suffer, die, go through different experiences. They shape us and change us emotionally. And my mother, about 6 to 8 months ago, was diagnosed with having cancer in her breast, her leg. She's 87 years old. Got to celebrate a nice birthday for her and with some of my family members back in July. She basically is bedridden now. Yesterday and today I'm going to be going over, and I'll be spending every moment with her. It's a very personal experience for me. She probably will not make it through this weekend. And so I'll be struggling emotionally to combat my thoughts and to try to remain positive and the things that, and I'm a positive person. She's going to be in a better place. She won't hurt. Thank you for allowing me to let you into my life. And you guys are more than just somebody that's watching a video and listening to me talk about a love of my life and knives. Anyways, until we meet again, stay strong, my friends. Love it. When you're in the mirror and you see that person, don't ever believe that you can't do something. Your mind is a powerful tool to create ways to overcome adversity. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Have a great weekend.